Mesdames, messieurs et personnes non binaires, bienvenue sur
Stop
Composting.
speaking fucking
Je
French.
serai votre hôte la plus rouge Rosa.
Stop speaking fucking
In all,
French. I'm gonna leave.
in all seriousness, what's up, little comers? I'm proud to welcome who may be the most reasonable guy on the online left, Mao's
Yeah,
strongest soldier, destroyer of reactionaries, educator of the masses, and an all-around bald dude. Ladies, gentlemen, and pronoun people, welcome welcome Black Red Guard to America's first ever podcast. How you doing?
Oh, Titi Coulson, place to be here. Can you stop speaking fucking French?
It's the funny language.
It's the disgusting language. It sounds like you
Yeah.
have a million fucking cocks in your throat.
I mean, it is Pride Month.
I thought that was June.
It's Pride Month somewhere. Like, I don't know, in Japan. With time zones and shit, you know how it gets.
I've never heard of a time zone making you skip a whole ass month, but okay.
Oh, wait, yeah, Maoists don't believe in time zones. I forgot.
Maoists don't believe in time.
It's true. It's anti-dialectical. So, on this very special episode, my co-host Joku could not make it due to family matters. So be sure to leave a hate comment in the description. It says "fuck you, Joku." Fuck your family. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Today,
You all are very mean and violent people. Why am I here?
because you're a hater,
I'm not a hater.
you're a lover.
Not a lover either. I am an automaton developed by the Chinese government.
That's true. It didn't go well because you just talk a lot of shit on the Chinese government, so they did a bad job.
Yeah, they're
Unless
gonna
you were made
replace
in like the 50s.
they're gonna replace me very soon.
Yeah, I wasn't Jason Hinkle like Mark II.
Jackson
Jackson.
Hinkle.
Whatever. His name doesn't deserve to be pronounced. Correctly.
He got ran off. Him and Haas got ran off from Emory University by Palestine solidarity activists. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then they came on and they were like they're also beefing with that revolutionary black media collective now. Like everybody hates them now.
Yeah.
Because they're opportunists. They just show up and like uh, I'm not in the habit of trusting white people like just off the flip, but
yeah.
like
I mean, I'm non-white, so.
yes, you're French, but
And
like
Jewish.
and Jewish, but from the like if you have a white dude that's like constantly like I am the voice of Gen Z. I am the most viral, most canceled, which if I recall correctly, like aren't those like opposite things? Like how are you
Yeah.
canceled but you're the most viral person? But anyways, um it's all about himself. And like as
Yeah.
communists, we're supposed to be like about the people. But every time I see something from him, which is rarely, I have him blocked. And I'm not in the habit of following people who routinely share Jackson Hinkle's trash. But like it's
Yeah.
always about himself. I've been canceled. I was run
Well,
off from
his
Emory
definition
University
of
by Zionists. And like
his
who gives a shit?
understanding of socialism is very similar to like fucking Strasser.
Yeah.
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 But shit talking of Jackson Hinkle aside, today we watched the Battle of Algiers, a 1966 movie directed by Gilo Pontecorvo. I don't know how to speak fucking Italian. Well, horrible
I mean,
language.
but you know how to speak French, though.
That is a beautiful language. Do you know why proletariat is a French word? Because French is the language of the proletariat.
Whatever.
Do you want to do plot synopsis? Do you want me to take plot synopsis?
No, I want to hear what you. I want to hear how you. I want to hear how you do a synopsis of the movie. Like I've watched this movie many times over. This was your first time watching it,
Yeah,
which like surprises me.
I
I mean,
got
I guess
my
you did.
my
I guess you didn't.
Algerian cherry popped.
Yeah, you didn't want to see other French people getting killed. I understand.
It was it was a very tough watch. I cried the whole way through the movie as I watched my brothers and sisters get gunned down by the French military because the proletariat knows no country.
Oh, that was a nice turn of phrase.
Yep. So this movie, it's a fictionalized depiction of the FLN's struggle against the French colonial government from 1954 to 1957 within the Algerian city of Algiers, which which was confusing because I always thought that Algiers was the French word for Algeria. It's not. It's a city. So we learn
You,
something every day.
you did not know what the capital of Algeria was?
I just didn't think. You
Huh.
know,
Hey,
I don't know. I just got very. I thought that it would be something different in French. I don't know why.
the
Which
land where we steal things. The land where we kill people.
okay, American.
Hey, you're as American as I am.
I'm an immigrant. I'm not a real American.
No, fucking Canadian. That's right.
We see this through the eyes of Ali Laporte, who rises through the ranks of the FLN um, to become sort of a head of the organization. As the FLN goes through the revolutionary struggle in this time period. So, this movie is a lot like other films that we've talked about that depict history, like the zone of interest in terms of being what I would relate to being a scrapbook that is a bunch of pictures of the time period that create this larger story. And we're not going to go through every single moment and historical event depicted in this movie for the sake of time, because it's a lot. But in terms of the big beats, we see the FLN sort of create a dual power structure um, with the French colonial government creating sort of a alternative government as they gain influence.
Mm-hmm.
We see them enact revolutionary acts of violence against the occupying police, as well as a terror campaign against French settlers, including the bombings of the Milk Bar Cafe and airport. Um,
Good scenes. Those are my favorite scenes in the movie.
the tabarnak. Um,
I don't know what that means. Stop using French words.
tabernac is a French Canadian expletive. It's like goddamn.
Oh, I've heard of
It's
that one.
yeah. It's like you know the
It's like a
um.
meme, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's sort of this stereotypical French Canadian swear word, and it's a horrible habit to me for me. Like if something slightly inconvenient happens, I say oy vey. If something very bad happens, I say tabernac. Just because I work in a worked in a restaurant, and I can't swear normally, so I just
So,
have to speak nonsense.
so did you actually did you actually grow up speaking like French before you learned English?
No. My family is in France. I know not only they not in France. They're in Quebec and New Brunswick.
Ooh.
Um, so I can understand the language. decently well. I know enough to get by.
You sure
My
know you sure know a shitload more than I do. So
I mostly know cursing,
yeah, that's with
which is
every language.
that's all
Cursing
it's
is
good
fun.
for. Cursing is fun. Um, yeah. And we see the in response to those bombings, um, Colonel Matthew be introduced as sort of a military strongman uh, charged with the task of ending the FLN's insurgency, which he ends up successfully being able to work his way up the pyramid of the FLN structure and um, being able to kill or jail the four heads of the revolution, including Ali Armar. But as Comrade Fred Hampton once said, you can kill a revolutionary, you can't kill a revolution. You can jail a revolutionary, you can't jail a revolution. So, 1960, Second Uprising begins, which we see in the movie. And by 1962, Algeria is declared an independent country. The crackdown is begun being taken very seriously and is at its most severe point when the UN is discussing the question of Algeria's independence. The FLN calls for a week-long general strike, which led to the very violent crackdown by the French colonial government, which resulted
Mm.
in the collapse of the initial revolutionary movement of 1954 through 1957. Um, in terms of the FLN's politics, it is like many North African independence movements, where it's first and foremost a anti-colonial movement, with the secondary motivations being uh, Islam and Arab socialism.
Mm.
And I drew Peter Griffin in my notes with
Why?
see,
Why did you do that?
because because the movie was buffering, so I
So
wanted
you
to
drew a
Google.
so you drew a picture of Peter Griffin in your notes.
Yeah, I draw him in my notes pretty much every movie we watch. Like here's the notes for what was it? Oh, Punishment Park. I don't know if you can see that. See?
Yeah, yeah, I see him.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, that's a pretty good synopsis. Another thing that a lot of people like don't know about Algeria is that like it was a headquarters, a stomping ground for several important liberation movements
Mm-hmm.
after it liberated itself. Like it took proletarian internationalism very seriously. The National Liberation Front from Vietnam, commonly known to Americans as the Viet Cong, had an
Yeah,
embassy there. The Black Panthers had their international section was
many
headquartered there.
many Panthers escaped to Algeria.
Yeah, many Panthers escaped to Algeria. Eldridge Cleaver was over there, and there was a lot of
Mm.
hilarity that ensued. He was basically him and his some of his buddies were basically riding around Algiers, doing all sorts of weird stuff. They pissed the Algerian government off, and they ended up being like, "Hey, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you can't do that stuff here."
Yeah,
The PLO was there, of course. A lot of um, a lot of
they
revolution.
were big on Palestinian aid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of revolutionary movements made their homes in Algeria or sent delegations to Algeria.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were literally like they gave the Panthers a fucking beautiful French colonial era villa that overlooked the ocean.
Yeah, it
And
was.
yeah, and so they took it very seriously, of course.
Mm.
they ended up, I think, in the early 70s becoming more closely aligned with the U.S., and that pissed the Panthers off. They were like, "Hey, why are you selling gas to the United States?" And I read one account, like one of the Algerian security officials were like, "Look, dude, this is our fucking gas. If you spent more time actually planning to overthrow the United States, there would be no fucking United States to for us to sell gas and oil to. Who the fuck are you? Like you're a fucking exile. You haven't done shit in your
Yeah.
own country, so you had to run off over here." And like it was, I mean, honestly, I side with the Algerian dude. Like, um, when you're a guest in somebody else's country, like you have to critique, of course, should
Yeah.
be laid if there's some objectively fucked up shit happening. And if your hosts are a good communist, they will actually encourage you to critique stuff. Like when Huey went to China, he was impressed by the fact that like average, ordinary, everyday Chinese workers and Communist Party cadres, this was in the early '70s, were like, "Hey, criticize us," and it's a notion in the U.S. left that if you are an American or if you are from anywhere in the global north, that you have no right to critique movements in the global south. And what a lot
Which
of people go ahead.
I just want to jump in real quick. My favorite red blackguard moment is the fact that you had to disable comments on your video
Black,
criticizing North
black,
Korea.
black red guard. I'm
Damn it,
Black Red Guard.
Black Red Guard.
There's an indigenous comrade from Canada who uses Red Black Guard. He
That's
did it as
funny.
a yeah, they did it as a play on my name, but they're an indigenous anarchist. Very good dude.
Yeah.
I actually had him on a couple months ago. We talked a lot of shit about the state of indigenous movement and struggle in Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Black Red Guard.
I'm so sorry.
Do I look
um,
red? Do I look red to you?
I don't know. You just look non-white. I don't
Nah.
see color beyond that.
Mm.
Um,
Ooh, another colorblind white person. Lovely. Those
um,
guitars behind you, those guitars behind you are in a beautiful array of colors, and I saw you play the mandolin earlier, so
that's true.
yeah, it's a very pretty mandolin.
Thank you.
You know,
I
Al Capone played the mandolin.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got it at a hospital right near a hospital in Boston. I had surgery at. It was really cool.
yeah. You had just had a fucking surgery. Go buy a fucking mandolin, kid.
Mom was like, you go buy a fucking mandolin. Go to fucking the Harvard Yard. Go get yourself a mandolin. Get yourself something real nice, okay? um, yeah. But what I was jumping in with is one of my favorite things I saw on your channel was the fact that you had to disable comments on a video of yours criticizing the North Korea.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You remember
assuming.
that fucking old English dude? And he's like, Block Red God has unprincipledly attacked the glorious People's Republic, no, not People's, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and our work has caught the attention of the government of the DPRK. He is an American and has no right to speak, and
Yeah.
furthermore, he's black.
Yeah, every time someone has a anti-imperialist in their bio, like as their only political thing, I just
It's
imagine that guy.
Yeah, we call it campism.
Oh yeah.
Like when you don't do any class analysis
Uh-huh.
of the governments that you are like the term like support, it's a meaningless thing. Like what exactly
Yeah.
what do you have to offer these states? Honestly,
Yeah,
like
it's yeah, shit like that pisses me off. A good friend of mine, he was a Irish lad. He was a foreign volunteer in the YPG in Rojava,
uh-huh.
and you see all these quote unquote leftists like dick riding the Syrian government because they're anti-U.S. it's beyond me.
I mean, but if you take these like if you take that politics to its logical conclusion, like a lot of Nazis are anti-US too.
I know
Honestly that's why a lot of those people end up in bed with fucking Nazis, like with the
exactly.
most egregious example being Jackson Hinkle.
Yeah.
And you also have like Caleb Maupin and all those weirdos. I think they actually work with fucking Matt Heimbach of the Traditionalist Workers Party. Like
Well,
you're
yeah,
working with.
it always turns into a red brown alliance
Mhm,
type thing. Well, I think that Rojava is just such a great litmus test to see
mhm.
if if your politics boil down to U.S. bad or not.
Yeah.
Which
Real
U.S.
Maoist
bad
support.
U.S.
Real
bad will get
Maoist
you
support
like
Rojava.
half the way there. Exactly. BG what BG Rojava, Benchman. I don't know if you're listening to this, but God bless you. Um, yeah. Back to the movie. Um, the movie is a very um, great job um, in terms of offering a materialist outlook of the conflict rather than a propagandist outlook
Mm,
on the conflict. Because although the FLN's liberation struggle is wholly justified, you see them commit acts of terror that are completely fucked up. Like the ambulance stuck out to me where they
mhm.
stab a doctor and open fire on a crowd of some French, mostly Algerians.
I mean, it's a war.
Yeah,
That's the only way you can explain it. Like
yeah,
Sherman was right when he said that war is hell. Like there's a difference between like doing that stuff frequently, like every
hmm,
fucking day, and it being a one-off thing. Like
yeah,
every liberation movement has engaged in things that an ethicist would consider unjustifiable,
hmm,
but as revolutionaries, we're pragmatists. If it
yeah,
advances the revolution, it needs to be done. So, like, if we need that ambulance, if we need to get control of something, then we have to do what we must within reason. Of course, I'm not saying go full fucking Pol Pot and just
yeah.
round up everybody in the
I
fucking
think
town and
that
shoot them in the back of the head.
there are very few circumstances where it advances revolutionary causes to kill civilians. Hey everybody, it's Rosa, and editing my voice sounds weird because I just had mouth surgery. I just wanted to say that this is going to be a discussion of political philosophy and not any advocacy for violence in any way. I don't advocate for violence. Nobody relating to the composting podcast advocates for anything like that. The views expressed on this show are in the context of a philosophical discussion and not reflective of any entities relating to the composting podcast or financial sponsors of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people would make the argument that in countries like Israel or in countries like the French colony of Algeria, like there are really no civilians. Like these countries are armed camps, or
Yeah.
even a better example, Rhodesia, for example. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody there had fucking guns. You had 15-year-old girls walking around with fucking FNs,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew how to use those fucking things.
Yeah.
And like for every atrocity, if I even dare call them that, that revolutionary forces commit, 20 have been committed by the occupying power.
Yeah.
So, of course, this isn't an
And that
endorsement of wanton brutality or wanton revenge killings because we're not butchers, we're not
yeah.
genocidaires, but like at the same time, like we have to keep in mind that these people are at war.
Yeah. At the
And
end of the day, the reason that things like that happen are because of the conditions that a colonial government, an apartheid government, a settler government put into place.
Exactly.
And we can call these things bad, knowing that the fault lies solely on the institutions which created the conditions in which these things happened in the first place.
Have you read Fanon?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with his arguments regarding revolutionary violence. It's like
Yeah.
when most people talk about Fanon, it's usually in the context of a violent decolonial struggle. So
Hmm.
on violence is probably the most cited excerpt of his. Um,
Yeah.
but and Fanon also served in the Algerian War on the side of
Hmm.
the FLN. So
On the side of the the French military, really weird. He went full he got Michael Jackson disease, and then he joined the French
Michael
military.
Jackson disease. Oh my God.
He shapeshifted into a white guy. Horrible what happened.
You are a very unique individual.
Thanks. Um, but yeah, the movie pulls no punches in its accurate portrayal of uh, the brutality that was this struggle within the time
Also,
period that it did.
Fanon served with the FLN. Like he was a spokesperson for the FLN. He wasn't with the
Yeah,
French military.
that was a joke, and he did not have Michael Jackson disease.
No, he had cancer, I believe. He died in the United States, which I'm pretty sure pissed him the fuck off.
Worse fate than death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was blown away by
You
this
were blown
movie.
away?
Yeah, I was one of the background characters. I was one of the French
Yay.
people, and
It's good.
I got blown away when I was having a nice coffee. Um,
That's the thing. Like people talk about like it's a direct parallel to October 7th. Like people are always talking about that stupid fucking wook rave. Like why the fuck? Okay, you're in fucking Algeria. Okay, you're a member of a privileged minority. And you think that you're really just going to be able to just sit down at a cafe like you're on the fucking left bank and drink eat a beignet and drink cafe au lait? No.
yeah, I
Somebody's gonna
don't.
come and put a bullet in your fucking head.
Yeah, I don't know how you would I don't know how people in in apartheid in nations that enforce apartheid live with themselves. Like I don't know how you could like live with yourself sitting in a restaurant that says whites only.
Because you're white, so it's only for you. It makes you feel
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, it's something hegemony, something
Hmm.
hegemonic ideology.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Like the Boers in South Africa, they didn't
Hmm.
go through like they rarely saw black people outside of service roles. Like they didn't go to the townships. They
I
didn't
mean,
go
look
to
at
the
the castes and system in India even.
hmm
Huh.
yeah, like they didn't need that. Like they didn't go to the fucking Bantu stands. They didn't think about those people. They thought about they
Yeah.
lived like people anywhere else until their system came crashing down, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, what we're going to do? The blocks have taken over. They're going to murder us all. We were so good to the blocks on my family's farm."
Yeah. Um yeah, I think Marx wrote on this in terms of like the alienation that the bourgeoisie experiences. You can apply that to the alienation
Mm,
from the exploitation of victims of settler colonialism that settlers experience.
hmm
Yeah. Um the character of Colonel Matthew, I
Military dictator.
yeah, um that he stuck out to me. Is he is a very interesting encapsulation of nationalist ideology because on
Hmm
one hand he fought valiantly, bravely, and honorably against the Nazis,
Mhm.
which, like,
Yeah, a lot of people who ended up in Algeria did.
yeah, uncritical
French, like
support to the
I think,
French
I think
resistance of
Fanon
Nazis.
was Fanon was part of the resistance too.
Yeah,
And like as I said earlier, like the French were in the habit. This is actually part of what pissed the Germans off so much in the lead up to World War II. Like the French were literally in the habit of like just going and recruiting entire regiments of soldiers from the French West Indies, from French West Africa. And the
yeah,
Germans were like, "What the fuck are you bringing all these blacks back to Europe for?"
yeah,
So
because
The Rhineland, which was occupied by the French, you had like some of the German women there. All their guys had gotten made into mincemeat in the trenches. So they were like, "Oh yeah, these black dudes, they're big, they're tall, they're strong." Yeah, yeah. So you had a lot of German women and a lot of French women that were fucking the black troops, and you had a whole new ethnicity created. The Germans would call them Rhineland bastards, and this was like one of the major things. Like Hitler literally called France half negrified because there were so many black people living there who had come there as soldiers.
damn, am I? That means I'm half black. Thanks, Hitler. I'm just
Let's
a
not get carried. Let's not get carried away.
um,
You're not
but
black unless I say you're black.
damn, but I think it's a very interesting portrayal of nationalism within this character and
Hmm.
its ability to be a neutral force in terms of its ability to um, sort of be the motivation behind national liberation struggle as well as the motivation to subjugate another people, right?
Hmm.
um, and I think that it's a very important depiction of why sort of national analysis without class analysis is always going to be reactionary in outcomes. You know, um, yeah, it just the movie does a fantastic job of portraying the characters' motivations in historically accurate and realistic ways.
Hmm.
Because
There's a reason. There's a reason why every radical in the '60s and '70s watched this film.
yeah, um yeah, because the average um sort of liberation fighter in Algeria wasn't holding marks in one hand and an AK in the other. They were doing it for the reasons of feeling a national humiliation and the alienation experienced as a result of their subjugation, as portrayed in the film. And on the other hand, the French weren't carrying Mein Kampf in one hand and an FAL in the other. They were motivated by nationalist intentions and a paternalistic understanding of the African people,
They were
which,
motivated by the desire to exploit. That's what brought them there in the first place.
yes,
That's what brings imperialists. Like white people are not going to go voluntarily live in a fucking desert because they're like, oh, we must explore, we must dominate the Af. No, there were
oh,
resources there that they wanted.
oh, I need some spice for my baguette.
Like, did you know that like they tested nukes in Algeria?
I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah, the French had a nuclear program. They tested nukes in Algeria. Like they basically turned substantial parts of the Sahara Desert into fucking nuclear hellscapes.
Jesus. I feel like Antarctica should be like the nuclear testing zone. Like I know that there's shit there, and it probably wouldn't be good for the environment, but if you're gonna test nukes, like
Yeah,
probably do it in
between
Antarctica.
between 1960 and 1966, the French colonial regime carried out a total of 17 nuclear tests near the town of in Eker and Regain in the Algerian Sahara.
Actually, I think that Antarctica is a bit far out. North Dakota, I think we should nuke North Dakota.
And a lot of this was after they had gained independence from France. So fucking crazy.
Whoa!
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Was it like a Commonwealth type situation, or
I don't fucking know. I just know that they tested nukes and that was it,
that's
right?
crazy? Dude, fuck the French, man.
Indeed. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Uh,
test? Why would you do that?
dude, I thought it'd be funny. I was on Impractical Jokers, and Murr was like, "Hey, you should drop a nuke in Algeria," and I didn't want to be the biggest loser of that episode, so I dropped that nuke.
You did it for the clout, huh?
I did it. I did it for the Impractical Jokers movie. What a film. Um, yeah, just a good movie. Um, I don't know how familiar you are with the show, but we rank movies out of 15 and then we add them up to get an out of 30 score.
Hmm.
So if you were to rank this movie out of 15, what would you give it?
15.
I'm going to give this movie a well deserved 13.5. It was absolutely fantastic, but it was held down by some technical issues and some problems with pacing. But
You fucking hipster.
but
How dare you?
really goddamn good movie.
How
You
dare
know
you?
what? I'll bump it up to a 14. I'll bump it up to a 14.
You
14 out of
fucking
15.
You fucking
14
French
out of 15.
hipster. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
The
It
film
wasn't.
killed. The film shows the killing of my people, so I can only give it a 14 out of 15.
Yeah, if it was shot in 4:3, and then it would be a 15 out of 15, but it didn't use a cool enough aspect ratio, so.
Well, you should take that up. You should take that up with the dead Italian guy that made the film.
Dude, and that's my other issue. It was made by an Italian. Like, gross. You. Dude, did you know Mussolini's like granddaughter is still alive and she has a Twitter?
Yeah,
I
she's
think I
mocked. She's
I
mocked
discovered that
regularly.
yesterday.
Like
I
she
discovered
be
that yesterday.
like like a new wave of people discover that like every 3 months, and it makes the rounds of the internet for like a week. And like it usually ends up with people posting pictures of her upside down.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
The on the 79th anniversary of Mussolini's glorious killing, her entire comment section was just all upside down smile emojis.
Mamma mia, you cannot do that. This is triggering me. That is my
Dude,
grandfather.
and she was like beefing with people in their comment sections about it.
This is my grandfather. You cannot trigger me like this.
Oh, so good. Dude, like, I wish that Hitler had a grandson so you could just, like, talk shit on Jonathan Hitler on Twitter. You know?
His fucking yeah. His private parts were withered and his seed was water. He bore no children.
Yeah, he has offspring in New Jersey.
I think those are like his big sister's
Yeah,
kids or something.
it was Johnny Hitler, who served in
And
the Royal Air Force.
I think there was a Patrick too, and he served with
Yeah,
the Americans.
yeah, and they one of the two ended up moving to Jersey and they had kids there. They changed their name. I feel bad for the people because they're like harassed by press. So they live like hermits and had to change their names and shit.
Yeah, like
Um
these aren't even his direct descendants.
yeah,
These are like his fucking
it's
great nieces and nephews and shit.
like for context, the reason why it's okay to like talk shit on Mussolini's like granddaughter or whatever is because she's pro Mussolini.
Yeah,
Obviously, if it was like her Mussolini's fifth cousin from the Bronx, that's different, but you get my point. Either way, it's funny.
yeah.
Um
Why can you not sit normally in a chair?
I don't know. I'm just a little guy. I just sit with my feet on the chair, and then my
I think that's a queer thing. Like,
I'm very gay.
me too, but I'm like also very straight passing. I can't even
Yeah.
put my feet up in a fucking chair like that.
Well, I mean, I'm
Maybe
assuming
that's
I'm assuming you're a bi top. I mean,
no, I'm a gay top.
God bless you. That's a brofist. God bless you. I didn't even know that.
Of
Man,
course, most people don't until I tell them.
damn.
No,
That's
like most,
awesome.
yeah, got to do something.
Thank God. Our
And no,
our
I've been
podcast
fucking,
has
and
only
like
had gay people.
the thing is, my hairline started receding when I was like 17, so I just had to start shaving my hair off. So
So
I've
you
been
had
like,
to be a gay top because
yeah,
oh come on.
I've been fucking daddy since I was 18 years old.
God bless.
Indeed.
When you become the Mao of the United States in your little red book, we need that quote in there. I've been daddy since I was 18. Um, but I had some air review questions. Now that we're done
Oh
with
dear.
the movie. Oh
Why are
no,
you bald?
I'm coming up with these on the spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
how'd
just
the
gonna ask me.
leukemia treatment go?
Oh, fuck you. What? Oh,
So the uh, so you said that the the British North Korea like fascist people they talk shit on you.
the
Do they?
Juche League. I haven't heard. No, the Korean Friendship Association. I haven't heard from them in months. I think they found something else to do. Maybe they got invited to North Korea to do manual labor. I don't know. I honestly don't care. Like these people are irrelevant. I only made
I
that
just think
fucking
that's
video
so
about.
funny.
I only like the thing is like when I make videos, like video videos, not streams. But like when I actually sit down and do a video, it's about a topic that interests me, and like that was
Yeah,
really interesting to me. Like, why the fuck do these fucking British people, like literally, and then like they literally wear the same type of suit that
yeah,
that Kim Jong Un wears. They have like these like they like
yeah,
it fucking fascinates me. Like little small groups like that, they fascinate the fuck out of me. Like, what type of mental illness would make somebody like think that this was okay?
yeah.
Like,
There's a weird campus group in my city. I don't want to say which city or what group because they don't deserve attention. But there's this weird. I'm an officer at the IWW. Like
you're an officer.
yes, um,
You're
and
oh okay.
meaning anyone that's just
I'm
like
in the
union
IWW too. I
officers.
know what an officer is.
Oy vey. Hey, I didn't know you were a fellow worker. God bless. Um, there's this weird campus group that has Hugo Chavez backing of like it's like a Hugo Chavez funded labor group in my city that has all of these
Funded
weird.
by a dead guy?
Well, he started the organization that was funding it.
Huh.
And they'll hold like pro Russia demonstrations to counter protest like pro Ukraine shit.
Mm.
It's so weird. And it's always just like four people.
And like the thing is, like, what exactly do these people think they're doing? Like, do they actually think they're making a material difference in the Russo-Ukrainian war?
They're just galvanizing the opinions of pretty much everybody in the US that if you're pro Russia, you're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, yeah, like, I mean,
correctly. Yeah, like
honestly, like, if you look at it, most of these people are insane. Like, look at fucking Black Hammer. Black
um
Hammer, the
with the
fucking
Joker.
Antifa, we
Dude,
gonna kill you.
I was so sad when Black Hammer like broke up. I was like a white girl after hearing that One Direction broke up. When that shit happened, it was like
Jesus.
that was this sideshow circus that I could always look at and laugh.
Yeah,
So it literally felt like in the 90s, like a black comedian's sketch about like an insane hotep group. It's how, that's how over the top it felt.
yeah.
It felt like an Eric Andre bit. Like Eric Andre would wear Joker makeup and talk about the White Devil.
My fa- my favorite skit of his was when he went to that to the Republican convention. I think this was
Uh-huh.
in 2016,
Yeah.
and like he was like basically he had this big ass long ass boom mic, and like he was basically
Pointing out at
sword
the
fighting a
fans.
guy. He was sword fighting a guy that had this big ass American flag, and like he was just
So
trolling
good.
the fuck out of these people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on YouTube. I'm on MySpace. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a nihilist.
Dude, and we started screaming Black Lives Splatter into a crowd. That guy, Eric Andre is one of those like
And
he has to be one of my biggest like one of the people in the entertainment industry that I look up to the
I
most.
I recently found out about fucking crackhead Barney. Like,
Dude, I
um,
I saw that in the Hassan on Piers Morgan where they talked about Crackhead Barney, but I didn't watch that. What's that about?
it's like, okay, so they're from New York City. I don't know what pronouns they use, but they're from New York City, and apparently, like, they do like these ambush interviews, and yeah, I just watched it. I watched that fucking Pierce Morgan thing, and I was like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" But that's how you know, like, it's absurdism. Like that's how you
Yeah,
know that this person doesn't behave like this, like in their normal everyday life. They're playing a fucking bit. But like, if it makes you like be like, "Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck did I just watch?"
yeah.
And like, black people in particular, like we do absurdist comedy like really, really, really well because we go through so much really, really, really fucked up, absurd shit.
And it's
So
sort of a joker's privilege, a jester's privilege to a certain extent.
yeah,
Which is why you see black people and Jewish people are like the biggest
we're the best
two
fucking
groups
comedians.
in the entertainment industry. Like
Yeah, we're the best fucking
they're the
comedians.
funniest people on earth.
Yeah, because we've been through the most shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Um,
who wants to listen to a fucking wasp tell jokes?
yeah.
So I was at my country home, and the servant told me the funniest joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I
Ha
don't
ha
know, Jonathan.
ha!
I was teeing off in my country club, and my boy carrying my clubs told me the funniest joke. I told him, "Go fix me an Arnold Palmer," and he said, "Well, out of lemonade." He's at the bottom of a river now. I mean, that's wasp comedy.
Yeah, very, very like no one like. Well, there have been like a few good Brit comedians. Like everybody knows fucking Monty Python. Like
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. Like they're very, very good at that. But like the stuff that we're good at, like real shit, no.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
they do political humor very well.
Oh yeah.
And they
I mean, all the best comedians, like you look at the politics of Monty Python, the politics of Eric Andre. I just watched season 6 of the Eric Andre show. He just starts name dropping random obscure Marxist authors during the middle of one of the episodes. Like um I could in our last episode with Dead Domain, it's not out yet. I had a good talk with her about how the best jokes, the motivations behind it, um, are always positive political motivations or just to be funny first and foremost.
Mhm.
Which is why liberal humor tends to fall flat.
But it's not
Conservative
funny.
humor, yeah.
Like,
Um,
it's not funny. And
and then
conservative humor is just conservative reactionary humor is just fucking evil and mean spirited.
yeah, did you see
And liberal
the Big Joel video he did on it?
mm,
Really good video. He talked about conservative comedy. That'd be a good stream watch. You'd get
yeah.
you'd enjoy it. You know Roseanne, right?
The lady that ran the like washed up fucking comedian
Yeah,
that
the
ran for
washed up.
that ran on the PSL platform.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her first set back after she did the Planet of the Apes tweet was on Fox Now,
Hmm.
the Fox streaming service. It's the one where the one clip that went around Twitter was her saying, "My pronouns are my ass. What is a woman? A woman is me, bitch." Which those are bars. That's a banger joke. But outside of that, the whole set was just her like venting her frustrations about her kids abandoning her and shit like that. Conservative comedy is usually just like sad white people's power fantasy and just a way for them to feel better by getting attention, you know?
Yeah, and like and a lot of like it's not just white people. Like look at the fucking sad hole that Dave Chappelle has found himself in.
Yeah, it's just like really
Like, and
depressing
I grew up with fucking Dave. Like, he used to be my favorite fucking comedian.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I literally used to forswear during my homework so I could watch fucking Chappelle show.
yeah,
Like, and like now he's just a fucking sad, washed up, mean spirited, bitter asshole.
yeah, and like conservatism it's just like impossible to just like laugh about something because if something's comedic in the conservative mind it must be pathetic and therefore you must hate it. Like
Mm,
he used to have good jokes about trans people
mhm.
like back in the day, and it's like like I look at like Nick Mullen, a comic I really like. He used to host Come Town. His latest special, he
But
had
I have a question. What is it with like white comedians and podcasters and including cum in the name of their fucking shows? Is it because that's y'all skin color?
yeah, I mean it's just about that gotta represent, you
Fucking sperm skins.
know. The reason that we named it composting deep lore is the two of the biggest inspirations behind this podcast are Astrazist and Mikasakis's podcast Music Posting, where they talk about music, and Come Town, in terms of like leftist comedy and media analysis. And so we put it together and get composting, which I think is funny because it's like composting and shit posting, like a play on those.
Mm.
I thought it was catchy,
It's
but
certainly a thing.
it exists.
My mommy
Um,
told me that if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, so I won't.
you have not been following that advice very well.
Yeah, I think I've just been sitting here roasting you on your own podcast for the past hour.
Oh, it's funny. It's good content. And I mean, what will leftists love more than a white woman debasing herself to the black man?
Oh my god, you're one of those. You need to go. Yeah, just go join fucking Uhuru. You get to do that for
Uh,
political work.
uh, uh.
You get, go join Uhuru. You get to do that for. You know, I actually had one of them say like they slid in my DMs one day. This was like 5, 6 years
They were
ago.
just like, "I'll let you fuck my wife. I'll pay
No,
you."
this was a white woman, and she was like, "I would love to raise reparations for you." I'm like, "Are you asking me to be your fucking pimp? I thought you already had one named Amali Yeshatella. Go away.
Dude, there are
You are not getting me fucking canceled.
dude,
No."
I like going to college. It's been a culture shock in terms of white people like that because I grew up in an immigrant neighborhood. Like I was telling you, my mom immigrated from French Canada, which
Ooh,
yeah, real horrible for me. But my best friend neighbor, his mom immigrated from Haiti, so
yay!
yeah, we've been lifelong friends. So I've always been like in black spaces, around black spaces, in these immigrant spaces, and the way that like sub like rich suburban white quote unquote allies act around black people is so weird, dude.
They
Like
either condescend. I know they either condescend to us or they
ah
act like they want to suck our fucking dicks.
yeah, and
Yes, I'm familiar.
as a trans person, it's always the same. It's like the same vibe, like in terms of like they don't know how to treat you, so they just treat you like a child. And it's not like you want to be like, fuck you, you're being nice in a weird, uncomfortable way. It's just such a weird vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Like
that's
they either act like you know nothing and they need you to take their hand so they can guide you to the promised land of Medicare for all, or they follow you around like a little puppy dog. Like it's hilarious. And
yeah.
I say this as a DSA member. Like I love my comrades in DSA, but a
Oh,
lot of them are
yeah.
fucking weird.
And God, like I huge shout out to you for not falling down the leftist content creator pipeline of either A, like not promoting any organizations, or B, promoting like obscure organizations that nobody is a part of other than like the weird English Juche guy.
Yeah, like why would
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's stupid.
Yeah,
Um
like join the DSA, join the IWW. Um
I mean at the end of the
Nobody
day,
has entertained.
weirdness aside, weirdness and stupid arguments, like they're still arguing over the fucking budget. Like first of all, what the fuck is DSA, a socialist organization, doing with the union and paid staff in the first place? Like you could have avoided this whole fucking situation. Like why do the Black Panthers did not have a paid staff? The FLN did not have a paid staff.
Yeah,
Like, why the fuck do we have a paid staff? They're like,
yeah.
oh, DSA is a federally registered 501(c)(4). I'm like, I don't fucking care. I do
Yeah.
not care. It's
Which
so
I
that
don't know why they would register as a 501(c)(4). Like the IWW were registered as a 501(c)(4) because we have to. But DSA, I don't. This is
like
boring for all of the
all of
listeners at home, but we are
all
going
of
to
this
talk
shit.
about tax codes.
All 15 of your listeners.
Yeah. Dude, I got clout, okay? Okay.
You got clout, but you don't know how to sit in a chair.
Yeah,
If I try to do that, I would literally fall my big ass back, and
you'd
I would not be
die.
able to get up.
Dude, I get so much clout then if I was the podcast that you died on.
Yeah,
Damn.
I
Dude,
think that's probably what you want me to do.
that
But
AdSense paycheck.
yeah, all fucking people think that like as soon as you start streaming or making YouTube videos, you're immediately rich.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it's
no,
weird.
like
I for
no.
context, I've been in the background of a lot of YouTube content creator spaces because I'm an entertainer. Um, and I don't know why people think it's like a
I
job
made
that you should do for the bank, which yeah,
I made 80 fucking bucks off Twitch last month.
oh yeah, like Twitch and AdSense, you're not gonna
No,
yeah, you gotta do it because you enjoy it, which I mean that's most things in life. Like
and it takes
I'm a
like
musician, I'm a podcaster, and I run a worker co-op concert venue and community space. Do you think any of those pay the bills? No, but
it
hey,
takes fucking yeah. That's why you're doing all three of them. But like it takes like
oh,
to
none of
actually
them pay anything. I'm unemployed.
like it takes fucking like years. Like I think I made my first YouTube video in 2016, 2015, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
So, and like to get, man, it takes years, like a decade almost
yeah,
to,
especially as like um a black guy as any sort of minority in order to be able to reach the top,
I
you
mean,
know.
yeah, and like actually, like me being a communist, I think that's me being black has actually been like a bigger benefit. Like nobody, there's plenty of white dudes who talk endlessly about communism. I've listened to some of this shit. It's all boring as fuck. They're like, well, Marx said that if that blacks do
Oh
not
yeah,
deserve their own country.
book worship is so cringe, and it's just the hallmark of someone who does not organize, right?
Yeah,
Because
and then like, what revolution have white people led in the United States? Like, what exactly qualifies
the
them to
Donald
think that
Trump
they're
revolution,
yeah,
January
fucking
6th.
yeah, the Trump revolution. The
God
fucking
bless.
yeah, like the only mass activity that white people have experienced within the United States seems to
The
be the
one
hate strike,
rainbow the one
the
rainbow
hating
coalition group with
the young patriots.
yeah, the Young Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, Fred Hampton made them quit using a Confederate flag. He told them that if he saw it again, he was going to kick their ass. Actually, he didn't tell them that, but he like explained to them
Oh yeah.
he explained to them the history behind that flag because these dudes didn't know. They were
Oh
fucking
well, yeah, of course
hillbillies.
not.
They were fucking
Um,
hillbillies from West Virginia and Kentucky, and like
yeah,
they didn't know shit. Most of these people down there, like they didn't hang out with a whole bunch of black people, but they came up to Chicago and they're like, "Look, man, this," and like Fred told them, like, "Look, this is not gonna fucking work up here. If you
yeah.
want to work with us, you can't be flying a fucking Confederate flag. That's the flag of slavery." And they're like, "Oh, maybe you're right, Mister Fred."
Well, yeah, the way that even now, the way that they teach about the meaning of the Confederate flag in history textbooks is it being the quote unquote Southern flag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't even a real flag, like the stars and bars. Like that was their. They
yeah.
rarely used that.
No, those are
Like they had like
like
13, 14
naval.
fucking flags.
Yeah, which is why like weird culture shock. I was in the South and a family
Huh.
friend's best friend was a black dude who had a Confederate flag like bumper sticker on his truck.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them like that down there. Like they
Yeah,
see it
and
as a symbol,
as someone from fucking New York,
as a
I saw it.
Yankee.
As I saw it, I was like, "What the?" I didn't say anything, obviously, because I don't want a problem. But and I was a kid. But I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
like, yeah, if you had said something like if you went down there now as an adult, they'd be like, oh, you don't understand. You're a fucking Yankee.
no,
Like so that's their symbol of regional pride.
yeah,
Like you see everybody down there now. My brother was in Texas, and like everybody has a fucking Texan flag. Georgia, shit, you see Mexicans, Asians that have
yeah,
been there for a while, white people, black people, all rocking that shit. It's fucking surreal.
dude, yeah, like, dude, the South is a fucking scary place. On that Virginia trip, my dad, also a
Yeah,
metal me.
Virginia, try Mississippi, Alabama,
Yeah,
deep,
we
deep
were going,
south.
we were going through our way to South Carolina. Um, my dad, no, this might have been in South Carolina. I think this was in South Carolina. My
South Carolina.
yeah, my dad, also a metal musician, um, goatee, long hair, which is to say, doesn't look Jewish. He went into a record shop, and the guy there started talking to him about Jews from New York.
AKA
Eh,
him.
yeah, it was, dude, shit's scary.
Yeah.
I nuke
Like
the
yeah, like
South.
if they get the sense that you're down there now, if they like
They thought he
because
was a
they're
good boy. That's the
yeah,
craziest thing.
because
Yeah.
they're very, very, very protective of how they appear to outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want you to think that there's a new South, that nobody is racist anymore,
Southern
but they're
hospitality.
yeah, Southern hospitality, family values, church going people. Shit, if they think that you're from down there,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother, especially if you're white. Like
Yeah.
it's just a whole ass nother culture. Like
Um,
even being black, like going down there, they're very insular. Like if you ain't from down there or your people ain't from down there, like it's insular. You ain't gonna be able to crack in there.
Yeah, like shit like that is always fucking scary. Like at the job before the one I just left, I was working at diner like front of house. And a guy came in and we were talking about music. He worked with Metallica on producing a project, and we were talking about that. And they started talking about black cops in a really sussy way.
Mhm.
Shit is scary, which is why the moral of
That's
this long ass story is that I think
don't listen to metal.
that if you make me uncomfortable personally, you should be killed.
And also, don't listen to metal. I listen to ska. I've never heard of a racist ska band. Dickie Barrett from the Boss Tones is an anti-vaxxer and a Trump supporter, but that's a major reason why they broke up.
I mean, metal, jazz, hip hop, that's all my shit.
Yeah, I've even heard of, I've heard of like racist white rappers like that McDonald dude, but I have never heard of a single ska band comprised of Nazis or any other type of racist.
There's racist ska.
Really?
Yeah.
You're joking. You're full of
No,
shit.
no, wait, let me I think that there's a subgenre I've heard of that is like white power ska. Let me
White power ska.
racist.
You mean like that fucking oi shit?
Yeah,
That's
isn't
what
oi
that's
literally like
more punk. No.
isn't it like ska
No, oi is
the
not.
forgotten politics of 1990s ska punk? I'm pretty sure there are racist elements of ska punk, but not really full on ska.
No, that's I guess like I guess you could like vaguely say that their roots come somewhat from ska, but you can't attribute them entirely.
Yeah.
I would not
Well, I
consider
mean,
oi to be ska.
yeah. There I mean the like Hitler particle level from metal subgenre to metal subgenre, it varies. Like
Yeah, like I know plenty of anti-racist and communist metalheads, but
yeah.
like I just don't
And
know.
as
It's,
someone
I don't.
who runs like a punk concert venue, you gotta be on the lookout.
Damn, I know it smell crazy in there.
That was the sound of French leather. My perfume of choice being
Mm.
sprayed.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm personally a
Smells
fan of
like a
his.
luxury.
I'm personally a fan of Bizarro's Most Wanted or Dior Sauvage. Yes, I'm bougie when it comes to cologne.
God bless you. I the worst part about this show is I cannot smell the guests because that smells like it smells lovely.
Hmm.
Yep. But as we're wrapping up, anything else that you want to talk about, shout out, anything at all?
Nope.
You don't want to shout yourself out?
Why would I do that? I'm not a shameless self promoter. I'm Black Red Guard.
I'm gonna get your money up, your funny up. You feel me? Twitch.tv/OG Black Redguard, I believe. YouTube.com Black Redguard.
YouTube.com, Black Red Guard.
And
And Black.
Patreon. Throw him some money. Throw us some money also. Patreon.com/compostingpod.
Nobody is sending money to a bunch of people that call themselves composting.
Wait until we get our blow up, man. Wait until it happens. You're gonna be crawling back to us. Like you're gonna be like, just one compost for me, please, shouting me out. I'm gonna say no. Cause you didn't believe.
I have dignity.
Did you watch football?
Which type of football?
The good kind.
The American kind?
Yeah.
Occasionally. I like the Super Bowl halftime concert.
I don't know why. You just came across like someone watched football.
You mean I look like a football player?
That's true. You do look like a retired linebacker.
Oh, fuck you. Retired.
That's
My
a
dad,
compliment.
my dad actually did try to make a football player out of me. He tried to make any type of sports fan out of me.
Yeah.
But like he
Well,
took me to one cards game when I was a kid and I fell asleep in the middle of it.
yeah, I feel like when you have a parent forcing it on you, it becomes unfun.
Yeah, because he played football. And
Yeah,
like I mean I've got the build for it, but
yeah.
not
For
into it.
me, I like hockey and football because both of my grandfathers like hockey and football.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't look like a player though. You're much too skinny.
I used to play hockey.
You did. Well, of course you did. You're Canadian.
Yeah, I played hockey from when I was 3 years old to when I was 13, and I fenced.
You
Hence the
finished.
hence the fencing mask. Yeah,
Huh.
I was the one person who was like poor at the fencing,
Okay.
which was funny because every time I would win, I would go, "Yes, I did this for my neighborhood, city till I die. Fuck all of you suburban cunts." That's how I felt, which made it fun.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than poking people with swords.
Yeah. And on that note, this has been Composting. Thank you, Black Red Guard, for coming on. Please check him out. Links in the
Anytime.
description.
Hey.
Lovely having you.